The first one is what we call full membership. Full membership is given, I mean, in general, to those who have the qualification in fiqh muamalat and sharia and is an advisor of a bank in Malaysia.
It must be a bank.
Must be an Islamic bank.
Right.
Okay, for the time being. Say for example, a person sit on bank A and he is a holder of Sharia degree from University of Malaya, for example, or from International Islamic University, for example, he can apply for full membership.
Right.
If a person
Sharia degree.
A Sharia degree, it has to be a Sharia degree. Okay. If the person is not a Sharia degree holder, say for example he hold accounting degree, he hold economics degree, for example, and he also advised bank, because in Malaysia, based on the guideline on Sharia practice that has been issued by Bank Negara, in the board of Sharia committee, it is a requirement that you have 5 members.
5 members.
3 of them, minimum 5. 3 of them shall be from Sharia fraternity. The other 2 can still sit on the board, but they are not the Sharia degree holder. So if so happen, for example, that person has a degree in economics, for example, and he sit on bank A, for example, he can also apply for what we call associate members.
Right.
But he is also the member of Asas.
Again, it has to be a bank. There are a lot of instances whereby a person advises a bank, not a bank, a public listed company on Islamic finance matters, but they do not advise the bank or a takaful company on Islamic finance matters. Can they apply to become
For the time
member?
being, you can't.
Right.
It's
So it has to
only
be
on
bank,
financial institutions.
takaful, or
Bank, takaful, unit trust, fund, kind of thing. It has to be financial instrument, financial institution.
So basically, it's to put together all advisors in an association, an umbrella.
Exactly.
And how do you move the association forward?
Okay, I mean, this association has a lot of objective. I mean, among the most important objective, if I may read on the objective of the association, is first of all, we want to set up the benchmark for competency level and professional conduct required for a Sharia advisor. So, of Sharia advisor, for example, as a Sharia scholars, how you should behave in your daily life, in conducting your advisory and so forth and so on. That's the first one. Second one is to facilitate talent and professional development. So when you enter and you start to become a Sharia scholar, what is important is what is after that. You should not be static in your understanding, in your knowledge. How for us to put more training for you, more workshop, more knowledge transfer for you, so you can enhance yourself. The good thing is for the banking and for the finance, for that matter, because the more he equipped, the more he can give a better advice for the people. The third one is to monitor the educational development, for example, to assist the regulators. For the time being, Bank Negara has done all the very good job. Everyone who is proposed to be a Sharia advisor, for example, Bank Negara, we have the due diligence on them and everything. So we intend to help the Bank Negara Malaysia, for example, for the purpose of ensuring that the one who is appointed to be the scholars or to be Sharia on board is a capable person.
But wouldn't that be so-called an exclusive club for the exclusive people? Because you are basically the gatekeeper as well.
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm a Sharia scholar and you don't like me, for whatever reason, you can just say no.
We have a mechanism. Yeah, we have. Thank you very much. We have a mechanism to ensure there shall be no such an exploitation.
Right.
For example, if you are qualified, let you become a lawyer, for example. Right. Once you are qualified and you have gone through the population, for example, the chambering, there is no reason for us to reject you. The same goes here. If you have a degree in Sharia and you show that you are capable of doing that, there is no reason, there is no way for us to reject you. In fact, in case, for example, you feel that you have been rejected for no good reason, you have the right, for that matter, to voice what you think is unfair to you, and by the help of some people, you can still ask for us to consider you. At the end of the day, we are looking into capability, we are looking into qualification, we are looking into your understanding of the Sharia and banking. That is the thing.
You stress on the word qualification, right?
Can I finish another
Right.
one? And also the intention of this association is to inculcate and maintain public confidence. I think we know that Islamic banking is based on Sharia. Once people don't believe that Islamic banking is based on Sharia, no more.
That's it.
There is no Islamic banking. So the intention of the asas is also to inculcate and to maintain the public confidence on the Sharia in Islamic banking and finance. So our task is not only to ensure the product is compliant, but to ensure that it is carried on in the way that comply to the Sharia. It been publicly made to the client, to the people in compliance to the Sharia, so people feel confident for them to bank in an Islamic manner.
I see. Back to my questions. You stress on the word qualification.
Yeah.
There would be instances whereby a scholar is well known, but he or she has not gone through universities. But his or her opinion would have been accepted. That's one thing.
Yeah.
How do you gauge this person's capability because they do not have qualifications? And the second thing, is there any age ceiling to become or not to be accepted as a Sharia
Okay,
scholar?
let me answer the second question first. No age ceiling for that. Sharia is something that you have to embrace till you die. So when it comes to that also, we don't have any age. It is about your capability. Capability is not only your qualification, but also your energy, your effort, your time and everything. Someone may be a very good scholar, but I say I don't have time to give. Sharia advisory is not something that people thought so easy. It's not that easy. You know why? Because you have to put your time, your effort to verify, to understand and everything. Some scholars may be very good scholars, known to the public, yet he has no time to do all those things. So it may not be there. So no age limit as long as you are capable mentally, qualification-wise, your effort, your times and everything. That's the first question. The second question was what?
Whether the qualification is a hindrance.
Yeah. For the time being, we have to rely on the qualification because something that we have to understand also is that we have to differentiate between two things. There are some people who are public speaker. They can talk good to in front of people, but their capability in this area may be very limited due to many things. So we have to put certain benchmark. And the benchmark that we use now to assess whether you are capable or not is the qualification,
which is a bachelor's degree.
which is the bachelor's degree in Sharia.
So if I have a certificate or diploma, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count so far.
Okay.
But if you believe and you think that you are capable, you may try to demonstrate to us that you are capable people, then I don't see any reason why we can't consider. There should be a room to accept people which qualification and with capability.
Moving forward, Dr. Amirul, what are the activities that you have planned, if not for the next year, at least in the short term in 2012?
We have just finished our what we call strategic planning, and we put a first 2-year master plan for us to achieve this year up till 2013, for example. And a lot of things that we have put on the table for us to consider. We put, say for example, on the training of the scholars, enhancements of the knowledge of the scholars, how to be with people, make them understand Islamic finance, on how to interact with regulators, how to interact with the banking sector, the finance sector, people on the ground, the CEOs, the stakeholders. A lot of programs have been put in place that we believe if we manage and we're able to carry these programs forward, you can see a lot of enhancement in Sharia advisors, Sharia advisory that they give, and also in terms of the development of Islamic finance moving forward, inshallah.
With regards to the programs that you have outlined, if I may ask, how many members do you have now for for ASAS?
For the time being, for up till today, because this is a kind of NGO, so there is no enforcement for anybody to be a member.
Okay.
So we base more on the willingness to come and to learn together with the members.
Okay.
We have nearly 40 people now. I mean, it's very Just we started in 3 months, 4 months, we
Right.
managed to get 40. If we manage to get all the Sharia scholars, it around 100. Because every bank, say for example, they have 3 to 5, for example, and they are overlapping because one person can sit on bank and also takaful. So if we narrow down everything, it's around 100, something like that. So for the time being, we have nearly 40% of the member. Our target is to have at least 70% before the end of the year. So mean that around 70 something of the members that we have for the members of Asas, inshallah.
So basically, do you have a program whereby members of the public can also attend to your conferences or seminars organized even as an maybe not if not an associate member, maybe even a non-member who are interested to gain more knowledge in this
Yeah,
area?
we have two type of programs. The first one, what we call closed door program, which is meant only for Sharia advisors. The other one, what we call open program, that open for the Sharia advisor and also for public also to also contribute to the program. So it's not only the word that you mentioned, exclusive in terms of membership, but in terms of learning, in terms of understanding, in terms of enhancement of the knowledge, it's not exclusive. It's open for everybody. Then we believe this asas can be a platform for people to understand Islamic banking and finance further in Malaysia, inshallah, for the time being.
So where is Asas operating from now?
For the time being, we are operating from the Isra office here in Isra till we get another office for us to operate. Financial is another issue that we have to also tackle for us to be able to operate Asas in the right manner. Inshallah, once we put everything in place, we may have to find another place for us to move forward with our agenda, inshallah.
Dr. Hasnan, we shall get back to you on your wish list and game changers later on. Islamic Finance at the Capital is with Dr. Aznan. Dr. Aznan, what do you think would be game changers, something which would tremendously impact the Sharia advisory field?
Okay, Islamic banking and finance move very fast. If we see the development, if we try to chart the development, Islamic banking and finance, the development is around 20% every year. 50, some quote 15, some quote 20, some quote.
In Malaysia or on the
worldwide.
global? Right.
In Malaysia, it's maybe a bit better than that.
Right.
Okay, so because of that, we see a lot of changes. Every day, regulators come up with new rulings, new regulation, new guideline, and everything. I mean, for us to see that from a very big picture, it will take a long time to discuss. But what I can say here is that you can see the changes that you have in Egypt, for example.
Right.
The changes
Arab
that
Spring.
you have in Libya, what they call Arab
Right.
Spring. I was in Egypt recently and going to Nigeria next week, for example. You can see a lot of support for Islamic banking and finance. In fact, they said the net growth of Islamic banking and finance is North Africa. Why? Because Libya make a very good what we call press conference that day. They said that for after this, finance will be based on Islam. So you can see the potential that you have there. Egypt is a very big Muslim country. For the time being, Islamic finance has been neglected in Egypt. With the Arab Spring, they call it. Now people are thinking of how for us to be more Islamic in that sense. And Islamic finance, I mean that from that angle. Another angle, Islamic finance is not only meant for Muslim. That a perception that we have to make people understand. Islamic banking and finance is not only for Muslim. It is for everybody. The ethical value and the global value that Islamic finance hold allow everybody to embrace Islamic finance together, whether you are Muslim or not. That's why you see some people in every part of the world in thinking of doing Islamic finance. I was in South Africa last 2 months, for example. Now the South African government is thinking of issuing sukuk. both in rand, I mean their local currency, and also in USD. In Hong Kong, they have passed the law for that, and some other part of the world. So these all the changes that we have seen that is going to really impact the banking and finance industry, where those who involved in Islamic finance will benefit a lot from that. I believe with these changes that you have, it's going to benefit a lot Islamic market and finance. Our intention is how for us to guide this development to really be in compliance with Sharia, following the Sharia precept, and also beneficial to people. That is, I believe, we should look into now.
Given a wish list or magic wand, my wish is to ensure that the Sharia ruling is given the force of law in the civil court. Given the magic wand, what would your wish list be for the Sharia advisory field?
First, on Islamic finance, I have two
Right.
wish lists when it comes to that. The first one is Islamic finance.
Right.
My wish list is Islamic finance to become a mainstream, no longer a niche area.
But
Nowadays-
aren't we mainstream right now with the 30% penetration?
We are 20% something. It's not in Malaysia. That is in Malaysia.
Right.
In some countries, it may not be there yet. In some countries, they are putting, looking forward method in better than us. My wish list, if you ask me on that matter, is that to see Islamic market and finance become a mainstream finance, no longer a niche area. That's the first one. The second one is that we are progressing in Islamic banking and finance. Not just progressing, what we want is a progress that is totally in compliance with the Sharia. And I hope that we can put more effort to ensure this compliance. That's why Asas come in picture. And we